Let's suppose that you were able every night to dream any dream you wanted to dream. And you would naturally, as you began on this adventure of dreams, you would fulfill all your wishes. You would have every kind of pleasure, see. And after several nights, you would say, well, that was pretty great. But now let's have a surprise. Let's have a dream which isn't under control. Well, something is going to happen to me that I don't know what it's going to be. Then you would get more and more adventurous, and you would make further and further out gambles as to what you would dream. And finally, you would dream where you are now.
It is said that the earth was very beautiful. It was the myth we told ourselves, as if our world was the only beauty we could come to know. Maybe because it was the only one we had known. But is that not what human progress was made of? The myths we told ourselves? The myth you created for yourself will illustrate what ideology you integrate into your reality. Like the first myth of the primitive Homo sapien called out to itself, "This is fire." Little did this early Homo know, his myth would live on throughout time and space, until every spark of that human myth had faded into non-existence. Every human myth built on top that first spark of mythology we might now call language. So too was the myth that our world was beauty worthy of the name, just because it was the first to press upon our senses, so that we were trained to call this thing beauty. How could we not call it beauty? Like the dog chained inches from the kennel calls his master friend, because that is all he can know. It is permitted to know. These old myths, so concentrated in time and space where they first initialized, are they mine? Could they be mine? Or are they theirs? Those old pieties.
And you understand that black implies white. Self implies other. Life implies death. You can feel yourself, not as a stranger in the world, not as something here on probation, not as something that has arrived here by fluke, but you can begin to feel your own existence as absolutely fundamental. What you are basically, deep, deep down, far, far in, is simply the fabric and structure of existence itself.
Let's call them what they are. Those old myths still emerging in here, emerging in my myth. Here, in the new myths we create, will I subjugate my myth in favor of theirs? If the cucking of human progress was to happen, it would happen there. So you, my civilized myth creator, my myth created, and myth interpreter, will you subjugate your myth to theirs? Or will your myth burn away the sensibilities of the past? Will you sense your abilities to myth your way into the future? To create the Tower of Babel in your own life? Their pebbles lay scattered before your will, a myth that you called to yourself, from far into the future, a myth that lay before your feet now. It was said that the earth was very beautiful.